Moneypig Trading, August 19. We're doing great on the short in the market today as the market pulled back. Currently, the SPY is breaking this trend, but the sell-off is pretty controlled, so we don't really see a really big pullback right now. I was expecting a little more to this 419.6, 420-ish 15-day EMA today, but looks like it's fighting around this 422.5 after losing the 425 grounds. Could it be like August 9th that touched this 8-day EMA and started to curl back up and continue the uptrend? Potentially could. So currently the swing trading will switch into betting on the downside, but we're not adding too many positions right now just in case that happened. Want to see more 4-day EMA cross the downside and start to break this 15-day EMA next week on SPY, especially now everything's overbought. And yeah, we'll probably add into a bigger size. Same thing with QQQ. Oops. Kind of same story, but QQQ actually has more downside, and that's why we're actually liking this this downside momentum better than August 9th. As you see, 4-day, 8-day, 15-day, and now 30-day EMA is going to cross together and start to pull back. Especially all the major mega tech company are kind of losing steam of continuing to go up. So currently we enter Micron put, and we had a successful day trading on NVDA. Problem with NVDA on the option side is the earnings is coming up, so the premium is pretty high. That's why I haven't swinged NVDA, but Micron's breaking this daily uptrend. All the EMA cross to downside. We do think as if market continue to pull back, this thing's going to go down really heavily. And as we mentioned in the swing trading channel, right, the DRAM price is definitely collapsing. So and that's why Micron actually lowered the revenue guidance back to August 9th, but actually had a really nice rally for some reason, which I don't understand. Now started to pull back, so we think it could be a really big short trading opportunity. So start to enter that. Try Tesla day trading today. Really not much luck. Holding out really well. That's a typical Tesla. Sometimes when it holds, it holds really well. Right now it has a reverse hammer. Probably suggests it's going to be sideline again. But since the market is going to pull back, and we think the EV sector is going to pull back hard, instead of using Tesla short, which has a lot of catalysts, I still have a stock split coming up next week. So we're thinking if we want to short Tesla, probably next week is a better timing, just because this options will be cheaper. So in return, we actually short more volatile lithium miners. A lot of them actually dumped pretty heavily today. We should have using this PLL put options. It has more follow through today than Tesla. Right, down about 13%. Pretty heavy. So in return, we actually use LTHM.
Coming in at 575 million.
And we do think if the market continue to pull back, this LTHM actually could pull back to 24.33. The tricky thing about this LTHM lithium miner, the one thing I could like about it is the option price is relatively cheaper. So a smaller account can join. But the stock price of lithium miners are usually pretty volatile. So that's another risk. When the market if hold on next week and start to push back out to 425, this thing's probably go up 10%, which could damage our options pretty badly. So it's definitely a risk. The other thing is lithium carbonate commodity right now is holding up, but I do expect this thing can drop a lot next year. So potentially it's going to stop pricing in the second half this year, because the number of the EV growth next year will actually slower than the lithium carbonate output. So in that case, that means lithium carbonate will oversupply next year. So that means the commodity price will drop. Kind of betting on this reflection will happen that fast in September. If that happens, I do think this LTHM will accelerate the downside to the extreme case, which make this trade about 400 to 500% return to around $20. But yeah, the EMA support here between 23, 24, 25. It's more likely our target. One thing I really like, the premium is really high right now, is CVNA. Breaking down, right? All the EMAs are across. This could be a next week day trading opportunity. Potentially, if market pull back, we're going to see CVNA pushing down to $34 level fairly quickly. So keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at Apple FANG. Some trading opportunity. Apple's holding up really well, so that's why this morning I was debating if the market's going to hold up and eventually break the day low, break 172, but still pretty controlled sell off. Meta Google, not so much luck. Meta, now all the EMAs start to cross the downside. Looks like it's going to pull back potentially to the range low, this 158 in the next few weeks, if Nasdaq is really going to pull back from here. Google is actually one of the FANG, has a better margin, so it's holding out relatively well, but the EMA started to cross down to the downside. So last week we talked about it, finally break this range and now come back down to this range. In that case happen, potentially can pull back to this range low around 103. But I kind of suspect this 103 level can break unless the market really have a heavy direction pullback. What else? Netflix, we talked about it last week. Don't really like the price action and the fundamental. But yeah, right now it's range bound. Started to have all the EMAs start to cross down as well. One thing I want to highlight is about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Has been the leading indicator for the market, especially over the weekend, as well as 68% accuracy. Right now they are breaking this daily uptrend. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum pretty heavy. So we just take out this nice 11% profit on long-term investment. And don't forget the Ethereum merge is coming up. It could be a catalyst, but that also means the mining activity on Ethereum will drop. Okay, that is actually not a lot of people talk about it for some reason. That's also going to affect the NVDA profits a lot, especially a lot of their profits from the mining sector. So if the mining activity slows down, that means the GPU demand will drop. That means the GPU price will continue to drop second half this year. That is why one of the reasons the NVIDIA cut its guidance. So potentially after the earnings, since they have lowered the guidance, I do expect a lot of gap down. After that, the premium drop, I think that might be a good time to start to enter the NVIDIA long put. But I don't know if market is going to pull back fairly quickly next week or not, or two. If that happens, NVIDIA is going to pull back really fast before the earnings. Yeah, definitely keep watching Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those people who are trading this, guys, are very smart these days. Nice pop yesterday, and they just take out all the profit and just drop like 8, 9, 10%. I'm very glad we take out the RIOT long-term investment this week. While we still have about 20% profit. Now it's going down to our average. Just with one night of Bitcoin gap down, right? It's very volatile then. Could be a potential good long put and betting on the downside. Have a next 6.4 EMA support. And that level breaks, we could break down to this $5 level too. So keep an eye on it. And it could be a next day trading material as well. Just want to talk about BBBY, this mother freaker. This is Ryan Cohen. He really should go to jail. My God, he manipulated the price like crazy, and some Reddit people still believe in him, think he's helping the shareholder. I don't see how he helped the shareholders, to be honest. Lots of people on Reddit got in around 28, 25. Now they're all deep red, and a lot of them put their life saving into it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you're interested, check the Reddit BBBY forum. It's a drama there. But yeah, we take all the profits. I'm glad we followed our discipline. Keep taking profits on the way. So we return some profit, but at least we still make money on this trade. So that's good. Potentially at the end of August, we might see some rally on BBBY. Since the management is going to provide some updates. And they still form a partnership with the RC Capital Ventures. So potentially RC Ventures is going to do something, maybe give some cash that they sell after they sell the stock with profits to Best Bet and beyond. But I don't really see how that can help. They make $58 million of profit, which sounds really good as a hedge fund, but $58 million is not even enough to cover Bed Bath Beyond's debt. So I don't know what they can translate into. So I don't expect, it can easily push back to 30, maybe in the next week corporate event. But definitely we'll keep an eye on it. This thing can still have some short squeeze. But yeah, I think this is just ridiculous. And Ryan Cohen just leave the bag to the retailers. And yeah, this is so ugly. This is a dog eat dog game, okay? Never trust anyone. Crazy. Because Ryan Cohen's effect yesterday on BBBY, we see a really heavy pullback on AMC GME today. All the meme stock got wiped out today, but we didn't day trade it because it just gapped down so much and just stayed flat today and choppy. So really a great trading opportunity. The next earnings cycles, we're expecting semiconductor probably going to slow down, so we have Micron. The next thing we're probably going to start betting is the software companies. Software companies earning should be the next one that got hit. So let's see how the cloud sector goes next week. If QQQ continue to pull back, I do expect a lot of good day trading and swing trading opportunity on the cloud sector. A lot of those companies start to lay off people. This morning, Facebook has a really ridiculous headline. I don't know if it's true or not, that they randomly lay off 60 employees based on algorithm. Gosh, do they want to get sued or what? But Apple also this week started lay off like 100 contractor recruiters. So yeah, hiring slowing down. Companies start to cut their spending on those cloud services like Datadog, Snowflake, etc. So this thing started to show downtrend already. Datadog can be a good, and Snowflake can be a good short. Same thing with Zoom. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on those cloud names. It could be the next big trade too. CRM Salesforce earning next week. That one can have a really big move next week as well. I might actually bet some lottos next week. We'll see. I'll mention the weekly email. Right now, FIX still not comfortably breaking above 20. Right now, it's still at 20.6. But like Rome said, started to break this downtrend. One thing I like about this is start to have all the EMAs start to merge. If that happens and confirmed, we do have more upside. If next week I'll hit this 22.6, that could translate into SPY potentially down to about 415, 412, this gap fill. So definitely keep watching this VIX next week. If next week pushing the 200-day EMA at 24.6, holy moly. SPY is probably going to push down to 410 to 406. That's a lot of drop in a week. If that happens using weekly, will give us a pretty handsome return. So next week could be photo range, never know. We'll keep an eye on it. Healthcare actually has really solid push today, but it's a little hesitant since the market pulled back, so I didn't really trade it in today. Fairtex has some positive news to push out. Oxy go to the moon. Holy shit. The news is that Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, is going to own the 50% of the stake on Oxy. I mentioned the trading news channel. Sorry, I'm adjusting microphone. Why he just keep adding the stake on Oxy, I don't understand. But I mean, it's a solid balance sheet for sure. But come on, crude oil right now is at 92 per barrel today. It's not like you enter it while crude oil is like $30 per barrel. So at some point crude oil is going to drop. Maybe next year pretty heavily. It's going to pull back Oxy really, really badly when crude oil started to drop to $70, $60 per barrel. So, and I know his trajectory is always long term. That's why I'm like, what is he doing here? Their performance is really bad this year too so far. So, yeah, we'll see how his play goes out. Worldwide is mostly red, and that kind of translates into SPY. It actually gapped down today, like we talked about. We didn't bet on the puts. Too bad, so sad. But that was like the market has a tendency to hold up these days, so I'm not very confident just throw an overnight lotto. But if we do that, it actually will pay pretty nicely. China, especially today, Xi announced that he might meet with Putin in September Central Asia Summit, and that just bring the market down right away. So over the weekend, we'll have to watch how the Chinese stocks behave. Long-term investment, BBBY started to break this, I forgot the range, we can take a look. I think it's around 84, 85, which is the range low. Long-term investment, I might take it out and recognize a loss too. This thing might have accelerated downside if start to break that EMA support range low. So surprisingly, we still see a lot of Apple call sweep into the Apple event in September. But I started to see a bunch of put sweep. So that's one small red flag, but it's not above $20 million. Usually I'm not too worried. Yeah, today is actually still kind of break even on the put and call side. So that's why we'll probably see a lot of control sell out instead of boom all the way down. But we definitely see some utility, silver, natural gas, oil, not to mention Oxy, we'll talk about earlier, coal sweep. So energy is actually continuing to flag to the upside. I want to see how the overnight, over the weekend crude oil price behave before we jump into XLE swing. So on the dark pool side, still loading. We start to see a little bit of more sell by 426.98, but still not to the concerning level. Usually I want to see above 20 orders, which will be about $2 billion. QQQ will start to see a little sell today too. Next, we will probably going to see accelerated selling on this dark pool print. So definitely keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, pretty controlled sell off. It's just not breaking right now. Definitely watch the US dollar. It's putting a lot of pressure on the tech companies too. Right now it's flagging to the upside, ready to break the huge bull flagging, ready to break this 29.2. That level breaks. We do have room to run into our targets, which is year end at 30. Slowly pushing up, that usually translate into 10-year yields, start to push up as well. These two together can do a lot of damage to tech. Right now, 10-year yields holding above the EMA supports, breaking this downtrend already, confirmed after this week. Yeah, looks like September is more likely a 50 bips rate hike. And do you expect if crude oil continue to rally into $100 barrel next week, this thing's going to break above 30 again and bring next leg down to tech and SPY. One thing we still don't like about this bull run is the 5-year yield still way above 10-year yield, which means inverse yield curve, usually means in a recession or a smaller recession coming second half this year. GDP number coming out next week, so that could be a market turnover event into the downside too. Don't expect a really nice pretty number, so yeah, we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording right now. The video is getting pretty long. Thanks for watching on the recording.